In my classroom, we use rotation stations with a model that works with about 3 different stations. The students work on skills independently. They use Khan Academy on the Chromebooks, and they meet with me for a station, and that usually is intervention or pushing students further than what our curriculum allows. About halfway through the year, we started discussing NGLE and how we could implement computers in the classroom, and after a couple classroom visits, I decided that rotation stations would work best for my students to meet all of their needs. After trying rotation stations, I should say, I realized what an impact it can make on the students, the ones who weren't quite making the mark and the ones who I could take even further. And I decided that whole group instruction was no longer going to be the way that I went. So the students are really loving working on mastery challenges. I'm able to look at NWEA data and work with Khan Academy on assigning materials that they can work on, and the students are really enjoying that. I don't think that if I chose whole group instruction, I would be able to meet the needs of my students in the best way possible, and that's why I chose to use rotation stations this year.
We use station rotation here for our math groups as well as our literacy groups. We start by allowing the students to be a ability group, since we no longer ability group for classroom where we move students from classroom to classroom. So within a classroom, we're able to meet the needs of all students, both those that need enrichment as well as those that need more work on things and intervention. Each one of these represents a 15-minute block of time. So they're allowed on the computers for half an hour. We use different programs that are like MobiMax and Khan Academy and things like that. And some of them will have practice, which is kind of a review of some of the skills that we've been working on. And then they each have a teacher time where they meet with me in a small group, like our guided reading groups, except this time we work on the actual math lessons. And then again, they then go into the computers for half an hour. So that's how we use it. It allows me to differentiate and meet the needs of all the students and make sure that they're growing the way they need to.
Okay, one of the benefits to using NGLE in my classroom has been differentiation. The possibilities are endless when it comes to meeting all students at where they're at. I appreciate the data that I can get from different programs, and also being able to move students on when they've mastered material, but then again being able to use it to help students who are maybe struggling or have tricky parts in certain areas of mathematics. It has been a wonderful experience, and my students thoroughly enjoy having technology in the classroom.
I'm using Khan Academy in math this year, and it's wonderful because it gives me data that I can use and quickly, and I use that to inform my instruction. So I can work in small groups, or I can work individually with kids, and I'm spending time with them and planning what I can do rather than spending time putting data together or creating assessments or creating spreadsheets. So it's very efficient. I especially like being able to extend the kids' learning. In the past, I might have really focused more on meeting the needs of the average kids or the low kids, but now I can see exactly where I need to extend for the high kids. So I'm really getting to meet the needs for all students.
I think the most significant way my math instruction has changed in that it has become much more student-centered, and I'm much more focused in on specific skills that the students need to work on, and I feel like I have become a much better teacher for them in that respect.